place is freaking beautiful, man. He said this was a Heaven Hill killer right here. That's what he said.
Their neatest choice outsells everything about 5 to 1.
There's Jack 10. What we've bought, I feel like the markups are reasonable for like tourist destination.
Benchmark single barrels are $54 here.
That's a sign to leave. Today we're hunting here in Hilton Head, South Carolina, and I'm not terribly optimistic about it. Just looking at the stores online, none really jumped out at me as potential hunting holes for a good bourbon selection, but you never really know until you go in them. So we're gonna try, time permitting, to hit all 10 stores on the island here today. So we're gonna try. Unless we just end up falling down a rabbit hole and finding a store we spend a bunch of time in, but I assume a lot of these are just gonna be quick ins and outs. I am gonna have some guests joining me on this hunt, some semi-locals, but they're running a little bit late, so they're gonna catch up with us at the second store. And if you've never been to Hilton Head, this place is freaking beautiful, man. I mean, this is a Publix parking lot. We are gonna hit this first store right as they open to see if we can, find time to get to all 10 stores today, even though this evening I gotta drive all the way to Nashville. But while I was sitting here waiting, that 5 seconds in the allocated closet in Savannah has been living rent-free in my head for a couple of days now. If you haven't seen that video, definitely one of the craziest things we've done on one of these hunts. And I'm thinking though, I wanna see if I can bring that experience to more people. So if some store has the allocation, let's pick 10 of your patrons. Let's put like 300 bottles of normal release stuff in there. Mix the hard to find stuff amongst it. Give them 10 seconds, and it literally has to be in their hand, picked up off the shelf within 10 seconds, or they just get a consolation prize of like a Blanton's or something, or an E.H. Taylor. I think that would be a lot of freaking fun. Hit me up if somebody wants to try that. Our first stop is Island Spirits. How's the bourbon selection on the island here?
Not so good.
not great? Just don't get anything, or?
Yeah, it's, everything's allocated, but it's, there's very little allocated. All goes to the bars and restaurants first.
I understand, makes sense. Anything particularly local though, instead of just allocated that might be of interest?
I mean, that is all.
Yeah, it's kind of look. What is Bluffton? Have you had that one?
It's made out of rice.
That's interesting though, because like, I don't know if you ever had JT Millick out of Louisiana.
I'm not a bourbon drinker, so.
It's pretty good rice whiskey. What's this Anita's Choice? Know anything about that?
So I'm not a bourbon drinker, so you got the wrong guy when you came in. Their neatest choice outsells everything about 5 to 1. That's by far their best seller.
All right, we'll try it. Pepper decanters down there. Again, we bought some in the Louisville hunt, and the ones I bought were not near as good as the ones somebody let me try. So I don't know if those things are just inconsistent or what, but somebody let me try one, really good. Bought one, still fine. Like, it's still fine. Not as good as the one I tried before, so do with that what you will. Vessey's Charleston Distilling Co. It's a cool bottle with the palm trees on it. Distilled and bottled by Charleston Distilling Co. At least 4 years old. I said I was gonna buy a peg leg next time I saw one. We're gonna buy this peg leg. Y'all let me know if you've had the peg leg and if I just made a mistake. Got a few things. The new Blood Oath sitting back there. Midwinter Nights Dram for $389 on a rye. Willet rye.
So that's a little tiny selection of the allocations up there.
Yeah, I mean, that's so decent. I have a few of those Blood Oaths, but I'm just not buying every one of them.
And so that's made, like I said, just right across
Okay.
on the Fusky Island.
Aged for 3 years. Yes, I'll probably wait till they have some older stuff.
Hilton Head Distillery also makes a bourbon, but they don't make enough for distribution. You have to go to Hilton Head Distillery to get the bourbon.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So we were supposed to be taking it easy on the bourbon budget. We have a lot of bourbon hunting to do this month. This is the 4th out of 5 days that we've actually hunted. And a couple of days ago in Savannah, we went a little too hard. Like we overdid it a bit. We stretched that budget a little further than I wanted it to go. And so wasn't expecting to buy 4 bottles at the first store. I literally said I didn't think this would be a real big hunt. And obviously those are not super hard to find allocated. The problem is a lot of these bottles I've never seen before. And if I don't buy them here, when will I buy them? When will I find them? And we are always looking for small distilleries and trying to find cool local stuff. So we'll try these and we'll let y'all know whether or not this was cool local stuff or whether or not we just wasted some money. Pretty cool store, pretty cool guy. Good start to the bourbon hunt day today. Let's go check out this second store. Second store had a name, but it says Patel's Liquor on the thing there now. So apparently has changed ownership. He doesn't update Google listings. And we've got guides here.
I'm Christian.
I'm Taylor.
Where y'all from?
Hinesville, Georgia.
Hinesville, Georgia. Now, I feel bad. I feel he's gonna see the video where we were in Savannah. And he's close to Savannah. They reached out like, hey, you're in Savannah, we'd love to go hunting with you. And they're gonna see that video and what happened in it. And then they're gonna see what happens today and they're gonna realize they got shafted just a little bit, I think. But there's nothing we can do about that. I appreciate y'all driving all the way over here. What's your bourbon experience level?
I'd say entry level.
Entry level?
Entry level.
Okay, what's the best bottle you've had so far?
Old Fitz 8-year.
Okay, well that's not an entry level bottle there for sure. What's your regular daily sipper?
Wild Turkey 101.
Hey, nothing wrong with that right there. Man's got good taste. What about yourself? You into whiskey at all?
But my favorite is the Savannah Honey
Okay.
or the butter pecan one that you guys just.
Oh, the old soul butter
Yep.
pecan, yeah. Let's go check out Patel's Liquors. Broken Barrel's got a new label. Haven't seen that label before. So these guys take the oak staves of barrels and then break them and throw them in the aging, I guess throw them in a barrel. I don't really know. So it's kind of a stave finish. Adds a lot of oak tannins, but not the kind I'm typically looking for. Any particular bottle you're looking for, you're trying to find?
No, honestly, I'm not,
All right, we'll find
Your
something.
bourbon drops have been filling my bar.
Good. And he's talking about the Brewzle Club drops. We just try to find stuff that's more regionally distributed. We'll have some mainstream stuff in there, but just stuff not everybody can get. Focus on more smaller craft distilleries as much as possible. Have you tried any of the Old Forester stuff up there?
I have. My favorite is the Statesman.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Driftless Glen. A lot of that Ohio whiskey has a little more of a craft flavor to it, right? Not mainstream Kentucky. I need to try more of their things. I have a few bottles, and I think we're gonna do some stuff with them before it's all said and done. Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Proof Rye. Have you had that one?
No, I haven't. I have the Michter's 10-year rye. That one's really good.
It's like, I'm just barely getting an entry level. He's like, yeah, that Old Fitz and then a Michter's 10. So, yeah, you went in hard.
Benchmark single barrels are $54 here.
Get out! $54 benchmark single barrel, that's a sign to leave. Like, that is a flashing leave, get out of my store. That's as crazy a price. Like, maybe am I misremembering the price of those? Because I've seen the Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Proof Ryes. Twice I've seen those in stores for like $200 plus. I think one of them may have been $300 or $400, one of the ones we found once. That's a crazy price. $50 on that bottle is also equally as crazy. So we're gonna have to be ruthless. We got 10 stores to get through. This is only store number 2. So when we see something like that, let's just bail. There's like inflated price. Like, I understand marking up a Blanton's, but a freaking benchmark single barrel? This thing's getting out of hand. We're gonna go on to store number 3. Dude, I just realized it looks like that Anita's Choice is a glass-on-glass decanter. You see that? I want to see if that's actually a glass decanter. It's got a little rubber stopper, so it's not full glass-on-glass decanter. I'm assuming that has to hold it, but that's still crazy. First time I've ever seen that in a shelf staple product. Anita made an excellent choice. We'll see if it's any good later. All right, so you said you thought this one's gonna be a bust.
I do, because we're next to a Whole Foods and a spin class.
That's not a good recipe for bourbon hunting?
No.
I haven't had a lot of luck with shops that have huge wine selections typically. Like small stores where the majority of the store is wine. Now, if it's a huge store that has both, wine and spirits, fine. But so I don't even know, what was this one called? It just says wine, spirits. Hilton Head Wine and Spirits.
Back on sale.
Got a tater sticker. That's a good sign. That one is 126 proof. Bardstown's Discovery 11. You seen one of those?
I have not.
Hold on to that. I don't know what the price is on it though. Oh, this one's 175. Now those supposedly have really old turkey in them. I tried it. If it does, it's not as good as my old turkey. I've got my 12-year-old wild turkey. It's not as good as that, but it's still pretty freaking good. I probably need to start this with an apology because I was supposed to try that on the last stream and just blanked on it. Not seeing anything I don't already have here. Anything jumping out? There's a Widow Jane right there. You were asking about that one?
Yeah, because I've been seeing them pop up everywhere now.
I don't think Kentucky, Tennessee, Indiana bourbon. So if I had to guess, it's Dickel, it's MGP, Kentucky, Heaven Hill probably, but I'm not sure of that. Definitely got Dickel in it, at least every one I've ever had. Copper and Kings. Now, I was told when I was in Louisville, I was sold this as a Kentucky only release. You can only get this in Kentucky. You had better buy this right now. And guess what? Here it is. Got sold. It's good though. They at least let me try it before I bought it. So these are actually right here, these are the orange label barrels that I really like, as long as they don't have George Dickel in them. So this was Tennessee, Kentucky. Like, you just can't tell with that, right? It probably has George Dickel in it. But if they don't say Tennessee, buy them. I don't know what that is right there. Mizunara Oak though.
Japanese whiskey.
Okay. Paul Sutton, nice.
Yeah,
We've
one of my favorite store picks right there.
We've got a barrel coming from them. Really good stuff.
Oh, it is. I'm sure you guys know about the Heaven Hill products, like
Sure.
Heaven Hill 7-year McKenna. This one reminds me of both of them, but higher proof. It's not from Heaven Hill, but it's got the Heaven Hill notes, so you're getting like traditional nuttiness and then fruit notes towards the back. It's crazy good.
All right, we got a sample there.
All right, I'll
He's
give you a
only on
sample
it.
of that
Thank you.
too.
It's got some bite, but it's really good.
You like that?
Yeah, my palate's very underdeveloped, but it's really nice.
I don't think that's got George Dickel in it. Light sweet, great mouthfeel on those. Barrel craft's so freaking good.
Here's the Paul Sutton.
All right. He said this was a Heaven Hill killer right here. That's what he said.
Yeah, I would have to agree.
You agree? That's good?
Yeah,
Okay, is it better than the barrel craft?
I would think so.
Oh,
It's smooth.
oh, that's so good. I'm so excited for our Paul Sutton barrel. I found them in Georgia, in Columbus. First time I saw Paul Sutton stuff on the shelf, and it's solid. I love both bottles. I would probably go with the barrel craft just because I like the sweet forward flavors. I think he's right. Like, Heaven Hill typically doesn't have those super sweet forward.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of it on the finish. And so if you like that Heaven Hill profile, I think that's a pretty good description of at least the difference. I think that barrel craft probably more like a Buffalo Trace profile in that it's fruit forward first, and then this one is a little bit more nut forward.
I think I'm gonna pick up that one, and I'll
You
wait
think
for,
you can get a barrel craft?
Yeah, barrel craft, and wait for you the
See,
barrel
he's
draft.
gonna buy. I'm gonna buy this one just so I have it to compare against mine.
Yeah.
So I'll get this one from me. Thank y'all.
It's a fun enjoy.
All right, so we got him a barrel craft spirits blend. Dude, I just love those freaking orange label blends so much. I think I literally have 4 of them open at the house, including our first pick, which was a private orange label Brewzle blend. And we've got another orange label Brewzle blend coming at some point in the future. I didn't want another one just because I do have 4 of them open. At some point we have to drink the ones we have. And we got a Paul Sutton to compare against our single barrel. Like, I don't know, that's got me more optimistic. After the second store, I was a little iffy. Yeah. The last 2 stores, I say we keep going on the island and see what we find. They had the selection and it wasn't like completely and totally crazily stupidly priced. At least there's that. Let's move on to the next door. We are here at the Second Rollers. This is the 5th stop, halfway through getting to every liquor store I could find on this island. And I wanted to just take a minute to thank all of the Brewzle Club members. Honestly, we've got a mission here. I mean, I know we do silly things. I know that can be annoying to some folks, but you know, we really want to focus on the social side of whiskey because it's what's so great about this hobby is that it very much is social, and meeting so many people that, you know, are out there. They've lost someone or their life has been down in some way, and they watch the videos and it's got them out bourbon hunting and finding groups of people to share those spirits with, and, you know, finding folks that are really starting to, you know, kindle new relationships around whiskey. We're able to highlight a lot of the smaller brands and maybe bring some exposure and have a positive impact on whiskey in general. So it's a lot of fun. It is a very awesome life I'm able to live, and we're able to do this. We're able to go to all these places, buy bottles for folks, do all the crazy stuff we're doing because of support of Brewzle Club members. I wanted to do a shout out and just make sure y'all mean more to me than you'll ever know. And we've got a Brewzle Club member right here. So far, you having a good time?
Oh, absolutely. This is a once in a lifetime experience, and if you get a chance, don't sleep on it because this is great.
It's a good looking hat you've got too. It's in better shape than mine. Mine was almost new when I left the house. That's what St. Augustine does to a hat right there, okay? That's what it's supposed to look like. Mine is all sweaty from St. Augustine. All right, so the second rollers, I don't know which one it is. Y'all look at it, it's another rollers. I've seen a lot of Blue Run at these stores that I've never seen before. Like I've never seen that bottle. It's just the prices on most of their stuff. I just don't buy a lot of $200 bottles for myself these days, you know? I gotta try it and make sure I love it because there's so much good stuff to drink that's under $100. Like we're paying a little bit of a markup here. Honestly, what we've bought, I feel like the markups are reasonable for like tourist destination place. And if you're buying local stuff or barrel picks, you're gonna pay a markup on it. But just $200 and something for a bottle, just not, there's too many to try that are not that. And this bottle right here, I don't know how they did that. Like, how did they get away if they don't distill? If they do not distill it as we were told, if we were told this is Sazerac juice, that says distilled. I mean, like, your eyes are better than mine probably. That says distilled by, right there.
Distilled and bottled by Firefly Distillery.
Are they wrong that that's not their juice? Or does labeling not matter anymore in whiskey? I don't know. I don't know. California straight bourbon whiskey finished in Cabernet Sauvignon barrels. See now though, I just don't even, this says distilled and bottled by, but now I just don't even trust the labels. And let me know in the comments if you had that one, if I messed up leaving it, because it's the first time I've ever seen it. Sherry cask finished bourbon up there from Middle West. Do you like sherry finishes?
I've only ever had the red wine cask by Basil Hayden, and I really wasn't a fan of that.
This is my problem too, is that I'll make a bold statement, which you have to if you're creating, you gotta make bold statements. I'll say I don't like this finish. And then 3 years later, I'll find one I like. There's a lot of finishes that are just super strong, and I don't like super strong finishes. But when it's subtle, I like a lot of things. This is the same pick I think we already bought. Oh, 2 different picks? I don't think we need 2. Oh, you got a full, yeah, I'm just talking about the double oaked. Normal Woodford to me is not a sip neat kind of pour. Like that is a great mixer. They made a Kentucky Mule at a restaurant we were at with Woodford. Fantastic. Just not something I sip neat. Now Woodford double oak, the batch proof stuff, their limited release stuff, yes. But like normal Woodfords, like that is just a fantastic mixer to me. Y'all let me know. Or maybe I need to try more store picks. There's a Jack 10 right there. Are these for sale? What's your price on the 10-year Jack Daniels? $149.
That doesn't seem bad. That's what I bought mine at.
You've got one?
I got one.
Okay. If you got one, we're not gonna buy it. I got a couple at the house, but that's not terrible. You don't happen to have a 12 Jack Daniels somewhere? All right, I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, so Jack 10s, I got a couple. It's fine. I'll leave them there. Y'all will know they're here if somebody's looking for them. We did hear their Jack 12s at the next one. Honestly, this has exceeded expectations of Hilton Head already. Like just looking online, I've said it. I've said it in this video. I was not super optimistic, but like we're exceeding expectations big time. So we're gonna kick one out because I'm pretty sure it's owned by the guy that's got $50 freaking single barrels of Benchmark. So our next stop is Park Plaza Fine Wine and Spirits is what I've got here. So we will catch up with y'all at the next one. Park Place Fine Wine and Spirits. Highland Park 15 Viking Heart. Know nothing about it, but it's in a fancy bottle that I've never noticed before. They changed the label on the Maker's 46, or am I losing my mind? Wasn't it clear before with like a gold 46 on it? Appreciate it. All right, small commodity selection there, but that's good. That gives us some time to roll on to the next place. So in and out, when you got a bunch of places to go, no sense dilly-dallying around. Let's head to the next one. Have you had a Jack 12?
I have not.
You know what we didn't ask? What the price on those were gonna be.
Yeah.
My guess is those are gonna be at least 200. Yeah. Would be my guess. Now, is it worth 200?
Probably not.
That's pretty damn good. It's so much better than the 10.
Is it?
It's so much better than the 10. It's crazy. All right, we are at Island Liquors, which I believe is the 7th store. I think it's the 7th store. Look at here. Barrel strength single barrel OESV. Have you had any Four Roses?
I have not yet.
That's a bit of a premium for the single barrel proofs, but it's a good bottle. This is my beach whiskey right here, okay? When I go to the beach, I can go to just about any liquor store down in Florida and they'll have this, and Florida is usually pretty cheap. So if I'm just at the beach and I didn't take anything with me and I don't find anything, that's what we're sipping on right there.
Have you tried the Travelers yet?
Yes, have you tried the Travelers?
I have.
What do you think?
I think it's really good.
Okay.
I think it's a little bit better than Buffalo Trace base, but that's just, don't kill me on that opinion.
We're gonna agree to disagree. I don't want everybody to have the same opinion that I have. Like my opinion is my opinion. Everybody will have a different one. Everybody is equally right. That's what's great about opinions. It's just nondescript sweetness with a little hint of Canadian whiskey. And it's just not what I'm looking for, especially not for $47, which is what it is right there. Smooth Ambler set there. I do like the Smooth Ambler and the Old Scout I've got. Have you had an Elijah Craig 18 or a Magnet Cigar Blend?
It's too pricey.
Like MSRP on it's really pricey.
Okay.
That's my only problem with it is it's a really good bottle. Is it a really good bottle for like what $250 MSRP? That's a strong debate for me because I don't like paying $200+ for bottles. They got to be something really special. We're gonna go to the next rollers. We're gonna see if we can score those Jack 12s, or at least if we decide not to buy them, how much they're asking for them, or whether they really have them, or whether they'll tell us that they have them even though we know. Definitely not easy to park here at this particular rollers, although you got front row parking. I didn't want to back into a main road. Take the front parking because the parking lot isn't any better. There's Jack 10 right there, just sitting on the shelf. I don't see a 12 though. New Riff single barrel, some of those can be exceptional. Now this particular store is right off the beach. Definitely, huge selection. Southern Star double rye. Don't think I've had their double rye. Y'all let me know if y'all have had that double rye. Sounds like a little too much rye. Those are pretty good. Old Soul Tintype's really good stuff. A little darker flavors, almost like burnt caramel flavors to me. Like really interesting. Dusty's down here. Friar John handmade small batches, old world style. The first whiskey distiller in the world. Like he was, or y'all were, right? Like did we pick up a name of somebody that distilled a long time ago? Right. It gotta be. Barrel aged at least 6 months. And that's going right back down there on the bottom. Apparently he's been distilling forever. He is not patient on the aging. Y'all wouldn't happen to have any Jack 12, would you? We were at the other store. They had the 10, y'all's other store, one of the other stores. They had the 10. And they said y'all might have the 12.
No, we haven't had the 12 for a little while.
Yeah, problem is we supply all the restaurants, and they get almost everything before it hits the shelf.
Yeah. So typically all the allocated stuff just goes to the restaurants?
Mostly,
Yeah. Anything interesting over here I'm missing that I should be finding?
This is from the Firefly Distillery, which Sazerac owns in North Charleston.
So Sazerac owns this company. Yeah. That's how they, because we were like, it says distilled by, but it's obviously sourced.
Yep.
But Sazerac owns the venue.
They own the place. Yeah.
And so this is Sazerac juice.
It's super good.
What's the price on that bottle?
$79.99.
All right, I'll give it a try just because it's a unique one-off weird thing. We had passed on it a few times.
Yeah.
Just because we were like, the distilled by doesn't make sense to me, how they could do that. But if Sazerac owns the venue, then I guess technically the venue's a distilled. It's weird. It's weird what allows you to put distilled by on there. Label laws are strange, for sure.
Are you breaking into the scotches yet?
I can't do it, man. For me to like a scotch, it has to not taste like a scotch, and then it's not a scotch. So, like, what's the purpose?
True, but there's a new one now, finally. So, anyway, this is Rye Law. It's the first rye single malt scotch.
Okay.
In the country, in the world. First state to import it. We're the first store to get it. It's a single malt scotch, but it's still kind of feels like it's a bourbon at the same time. It's a weird mix, but it's super good. I mean, it's just incredible.
So, if y'all have tried that, somebody holler at me in the comments. Let me know if I should be buying that one or trying it. So many times people are like, you got to try this scotch. This is the one that's going to get you. I don't think so. I appreciate it, though. Thank you. All right. Almost got me on a scotch. Good salesmanship there. I respect it. We're going to skip this last one. I was told it's like 30 minutes all the way in there to Sea Pines Liquor. And we met some locals here who also said, man, it's super marked up. Like it is the touristy of touristy with absolutely no selection. So we didn't quite get to every liquor store on the island, but we got to most of them. You satisfied with the hunt?
Absolutely.
I mean, we didn't find a Jack 12 or a unicorn.
No, but we did pick up some nice bottles.
Well, I appreciate y'all watching all the way to the end. I want to leave y'all with what I've been thinking about all day. Literally, this has been on my mind all day long. I got in the truck this morning and a song by Reba McEntire was playing, and it's The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia. And this was a big hit for Reba McEntire back in the day. And in this song, her brother's wife is cheating on him while he's out of town. She murders his brother's wife, hides the body, and when the cops pin it on him, she is just spending the whole song talking about how it's a backwoods sheriff and a corrupt judge and all this crap. And then at the end, she's like, before I even had time to tell them, like they went through a trial. They arrested the guy, went through a trial, hung him, and she's like, Before I even had time to tell them I did it, they hung him. Like, what kind of gaslighting is that, Reba? Why? And you're like, I didn't even have time. That stuff doesn't happen in a day. Like, Lord have mercy, Reba. We'll see y'all in the next one.